Hey everyone, Vixian here. Today we'll go over the second and final part of the weapon showcase. If you missed part 1, make sure to check it out. We covered all the melee weapons, but in this video we'll go over the ranged and magical weapons. I have also included timestamps in case you want to see something specific. And if you want to catch up on daily New World content, consider subscribing to the channel and hitting the bell icon so you never miss a video. I'll try to upload every day at roughly the same time. The next category features the physical ranged weapons, which are my personal favorite, and I'm sure all of you FPS players out there will love them too. So let's start with the bow's skills. The bow features the skirmisher and hunter skill trees. The bow shoots projectiles, which means that your shots require a small amount of time to reach their targets, making it a bit harder to aim than the musket, for example. In the skirmisher skill tree, your first ability will be evade shot. This skill will make you leap back for 5 meters and shoot an arrow. The next one is rain of arrows, which is just an AoE attack. And last but not least, poison shot, which shoots an arrow that on hit creates a cloud that poisons enemies for 20 seconds. The hunter tree, on the other hand, mostly focuses on raw damage, with the first ability being penetrating shot, which, as the name suggests, fires an arrow that passes through targets. The next one is splinter shot, that shoots an arrow which splits to 3 after 10 meters. And the last one is rapid shot, shooting 3 consecutive arrows with the third knocking back your target. The bow is a very high damage ranged weapon, optimal for any kind of activity, making it a great choice overall as long as you enjoy ranged combat. You can choose abilities for AoE DPS or pure single target, so it's pretty flexible with what it can do. I would also like to mention that while the bow can be used as a very long ranged weapon, the musket is the better choice for that playstyle. Moving on, let's take a look at the musket's skillset. The musket is a hit-scan, long-range weapon that focuses on bringing sustained DPS to single targets from afar. The sharpshooter trees include power shot, an ability that overloads your musket with gunpowder, causing the next shot to deal increased damage. Powder burn, another overload that also applies burn on hit. And shooter's stance, forcing you to stand still but reducing reload speed by 75%. The trapper tree makes use of traps to pin down or deal damage to enemies. The first ability is Traps, which allows you to throw a trap on the ground, immobilizing anyone that walks over it for 3 seconds. If you add more passive traits to this skill, you can also have 2 traps up at the same time. The next one is Stopping Power. Stopping Power is a shot that deals extra damage and knocks your target back. And finally, Sticky Bomb, which is a bomb that can be thrown and sticks to anything it collides with, detonating after 5 seconds. One of the things that stand out for the musket is the ability to use the mouse wheel to zoom in and out. You get this from the sharpshooter tree with the last passive trait, providing you with a playstyle similar to that from snipers in FPS games. It can also be great for solo PvE content, as you can take down enemies with 2 or 3 headshots before they can even reach you. Next up, let's take a look at the magic weapons that are currently in the game. The life staff is currently the only weapon that you can use with the ability to heal others. Your life staff has a skill tree that specializes in healing, along with another tree dedicated to a mix of buffs, DPS and healing. The first ability in the healing tree is Divine Embrace, which is your basic targeted heal. You can use free targeting, but the game also provides you with a lock-on feature that helps a lot. Then there is Sacred Ground, a small area of effect that heals people that stand inside it. And finally, Splash of Light, your big AoE heal, healing everyone within a 100-meter range. The Protector tree, as I mentioned before, consists of abilities that are a mix of buffs, DPS and heals. There is Orb of Protection, a projectile that grants 45 for 20 seconds and heals an ally, while also dealing damage if it hits an enemy. Light's Embrace, a 4-second cooldown heal that increases in potency depending on the amount of buffs your target is affected by. And Beacon, another projectile that deals damage to its target and heals nearby allies. This weapon will be your go-to choice if you want to play a healer, as it's currently the only weapon available that can heal others. Fortunately, it provides 2 different playstyles, so it will keep you busy until new weapons find their way into the game. Currently in the game, there are 2 magical weapons available to the player, with the Fire Staff being one of them. The 2 skill trees for the Fire Staff, Fire Mage and Pyromancer, provide different playstyles, with the first one being focused towards static artillery type DPS, while the latter revolves around a more mobile type of gameplay. The first ability for the Fire Mage tree is Pillar of Fire, a targeted spell that deals AoE damage. Meteor Shower, a channeling spell that drops meteors at a targeted area over a period of time. And Fireball, a projectile spell that leaves a patch of burning ground on impact. As you saw, this tree is perfect for mass scale PvP or dungeons that require a lot of AoE and little movement. Next up is Pyromancer. The first spell is called Flamethrower and is exactly that, a moving flamethrower. The next one is Incinerate, which causes an explosion around you, damaging and knocking back enemies, while also adding a small damage over time debuff. And Burnout, a dash that leaves a trail of fire behind you, putting a 13-second burn debuff on targets affected by it. Both trees are great if you enjoy the abilities Firestaff can offer, so I recommend it for anyone that enjoys playing casters in MMOs in general. And the last weapon in the game is the Ice Gauntlet, which is also a magical weapon like the Firestaff. You can expect strong crowd control utility from this weapon, coming mostly in the form of slows. The two skill trees are Ice Tempest and Builder. In the Ice Tempest skill tree, our first ability is Ice Spikes. This creates a trail of spikes that start from the player and go out in a straight line for 8 meters, with the final spike causing large damage and pushback. Another very strong ability is Ice Storm, an area of effect spell that damages and slows enemies inside it. And finally, Wind Chill, which is basically the ice version of the Flamethrower skill that the Firestaff has. Wind Chill also has a pushback effect. The Builder tree also consists of some very interesting abilities. For example, Ice Pylon conjures a small turret-like structure that will shoot projectiles at enemies within 20 meters for 15 seconds. Ice Shower, which is a curtain of falling frost, disabling dodging and sprinting, while slowing the target for 50%. This slow stays on the enemies for 3 seconds after exiting the Ice Shower area. We have just one more skill in the Builder tree, and that's Entombed. Players can put themselves in an ice block, becoming invulnerable. This ice block can be destroyed or broken earlier by you. If you press your light attack while you are encased in ice, you will also knock enemies back when breaking free. The Ice Gauntlet is also a great weapon choice for anyone that likes mid-range magic kind of playstyle, and it will also be great for war content because of the AoE utility alone. So now that we covered all of the weapons, let me remind you that you can mix and match abilities from the two trees, so if you don't like an ability from tree A, you can supplement your build with an ability from tree B. There's a lot of interesting combinations that could work, even with weapons that don't necessarily benefit from your main attribute. So don't hesitate to play around and try things. Some metas are sometimes created from the most unlikely pairings. With that in mind, I would love to hear which weapons you guys will stick with, so make sure to drop a comment down below about that, or any other topic you'd like to hear from me. Also, quick reminder, if you enjoyed today's video, please drop a like and share it with a friend. It will help me and the channel grow. I will also be streaming daily on both YouTube and Twitch, so you can hit me up there as well, or drop by the Discord server if you just want to chat. My company is still recruiting, so leave me a message on Discord if you'd like to join, and I also included our application form in the description below. So that's all for today. Thank you guys so much for watching till the end. I really hope you learned something new today, and I'll see you on tomorrow's video. But until then, take care.
This ain't what you want. This ain't what you want now. This ain't what you want. Who alive can't put me in a box. I redefine any definition you got. I am the tiger, I'm making steps to the top. The flames, I whip it up, you just gotta hand me the